I'm a 90s kid. So back those days, how my parents used to tell me is Mata Pita Guru Devam. So how's the Guru tradition right now?
System has gone a transformative change which is beyond compare. Those days, the student had to stay with the Guru in the forest for 10 to 12 years. Every month you get a chance to read the Bible.
In front of it.
In front of the whole crowd. I stammer and I break down. I break down badly. I thought I could never become a teacher because I had this problem, stammer. But then I get an interview call from Kodaikanal Public School. I just sent my application. I go there. So Kodaikanal attracted me because of the nature. Younger generation is more eager to learn in the way they want to learn.
So do you also think that is also because of the AI tools which is present right now and the knowledge is available to them? So the classrooms before 30 years and classrooms right now after so many years, how is it? What's the difference? Welcome to another episode of Hi and Why. Today is a special episode dedicated to Teachers' Day. On this occasion where we celebrate the guiding lights who shape the lives, we have with us Dr. Jayan Philip, an educator with over 2 decades of experience. Currently a senior teacher of history at Neve Academy, Bangalore, Dr. Jayan specializes in IBDP, ICSE, instrumental in shaping curriculum and guiding research for young minds. Dr. Jayan has inspired countless learners to see history not as dates and events but as stories and shape our world. In this episode, we will dive into his teaching journey, the challenges and joys of being a teacher, and how modern methods are reshaping education today. So let's get started with his inspiring conversation on the note of Teachers' Day. Welcome, sir. Welcome
to Hi and Why. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to have you here today. You are as a client for us to add upon, I think, more than a year right now. And it's a pleasure for me to have you as a guest and I interview as a guest.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And of course, it's a great opportunity to sit here and to be interviewed. So it's a great feeling.
Thank you, sir. Sir, so today the whole episode is going to be about your journey, your teaching journey, because this episode is a very special episode, which is a tribute to the teachers out there, right? So the start would be like this. I'm a 90s kid. So back those days, how my parents used to tell me is Mata Pita Guru Devam. So after parents, it's always the Guru who was kept in on that level. And we also had that kind of a relationship with our Guru.
Very true.
Right? So how is it right now? You would have seen in your days, you're seeing right now. So how is the Guru tradition right now?
I'm an 80s kid. When I passed out ICSE in 1984.
Okay.
So 84, 85. See, back then, when the teacher came to the classroom, it was not customary, not mandatory. It was inbuilt in us that we should stand up.
Yeah.
We should stand up and greet the teacher. Whether you like the teacher or not, that goes beyond the saying. But when the teacher enters the classroom, now, I remember my mathematics teacher, Mr. George Samuel, he used to be very clear when he comes to the classroom, the books has to be there by the side. The pencil box also has to be on top of it.
Very particular.
Very particular, very particular. And when we knew when the teacher used to walk by, we knew when the teacher used to walk by. And then we used to be the class which was violent, in terms of the sound, becomes quiet within seconds because the teacher enters it. Now, that particular thing I feel is missing now because there has been a transformative change. Today, the child is questioning. Today, the child is actually, researching. So the very importance of the teacher, I feel, cannot be taken away. The institution of the teacher will remain forever, in spite of the AIs coming, in spite of all this coming. But as you said, the institution of the Guru, which started for us from the Vedic times, the Guru Dakshana, the Gurukul system, which was there from the, let's say, from the Vedic age, from the early Vedic age.
True.
Not just from the later Vedic period. That system has gone a transformative change which is beyond compare. Those days, the student had to stay with the Guru in the forest for 10 to 12 years. Give a Guru Dakshana at the end of the... Now that has changed. Now the institution of the teacher remains important to the society and will remain so. Because you cannot replace the teacher in any way. That's what I strongly believe in spite of the technical advance and the expertise which is there now, the institution of the teacher will remain. But as you said, the institution of the guru, the concept of the guru has undergone a major change.
Yeah.
And I don't know when it can go back to its original shape and
Yeah.
concept.
I mean, also like now parents are very friendly to their children. It's the same like that. I think even teachers, they have that friendly connect with the students, if I'm not wrong.
No, we need to have, because we need to build a rapport. I mean,
Yeah.
teaching is not just, imparting knowledge. See, if a teacher can impact a student positively, creatively, innovatively, productively and constructively, then that brings about a change not just in the child, but probably within the families also.
Right.
Now, for example, if a child likes you, even if he doesn't like the subject, he might be sort of attracted. Okay, my teacher said this, so I need to do this. So let me just do it for her or him.
Yeah, I can connect to that very well. In fact, yeah, as you said, teacher plays a very major role to like that subject. Okay, so when I was in my 9th and 10th, I had a teacher, an English teacher. His name was Manoj Kotekar, and he was a teacher where he would take the attention of each one of us. He was the vice principal also of our school, so he used to take 2 classes together, like 2 periods together. So that whole 2 hours of his class would be, not even a single child would be away from the concentration of what he teaches. And also he is a teacher where he will identify what student is specialized in. Okay, he likes sports or he likes songs, music, and he would make sure we participate in such events.
That's good.
So he played a very major role in my life when I was a childhood.
I'm sure you never forgot Manoj.
Definitely, I'll never forget.
See, because he identified with you.
Yes, he did. So how was it for you when you were young, sir?
I was an introvert and I was not very good with studies, academics and
Okay.
such. But you just reminded me of an incident. I grew up in a boarding school, St. Thomas Residential School. We had prayers in the evening.
Okay.
After we come back from sports, we had prayers in the evening. And so each one of us, we were in 4 houses, green, blue, yellow, and violet. I was in the green house. So I was in the junior hostel. So the junior hostel last year is very important because 8th grade, you will go to the senior hostel. The senior hostel is the Stanley John's hostel, which is a sort of a repute that you graduate to this thing, So we all used to be prepared for ourselves. Now, there is a procedure that every month you get a chance to read the Bible. So I go up to read the Bible.
In front of everyone.
In front of the whole crowd. I stammer and I break down. I break down badly.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the teacher. He calls me in. He calls me into his room and said, "Have you heard about Moses?" I said, "Yes, of course. He's in the Bible." He stammered. "Haven't you heard about our first chief minister, E.M.S. Namboodiripad?" E.M.S. Namboodiripad was the first democratically elected communist leader to become the chief minister worldwide. I mean, he was the first. At that point of time, it was the first time a communist government is elected democratically, and EMS becomes the chief minister. So he asked me, "Don't you know EMS?" I said, "Yes." It was way back in the 50s. He used to stammer. Now, these two questions, these two assurances which he gave me, he said, "One day, you will never stammer." So after many years, when I got my job and I became a teacher, and when I went into the classroom for the first time, I remembered him.
Okay.
I remembered him. And when I did my quiz shows in Dubai, in the Westminster School, that thought came to me: you will never stammer again. I mean,
so you never stammered in the classrooms?
Yeah, not my kids don't know that I stammer.
Okay.
So it just comes to me naturally. But I had to overcome that when I was from grade 6 to 10. I had to overcome that. But now I don't. Now I don't stammer.
Okay. So when is that in your point of life you thought, okay, I'll become a teacher?
That's a very interesting question.
And with the stammering issue which you told, I mean, definitely thinking about a teacher teaching, in becoming a teacher is not an easy thing, right? So
I never dreamt. I thought I could never become a teacher because I had this problem of stammering. But after my masters, my mother asked me, "What the hell do you want to do?" I said, I don't know. I don't know really. I just finished my masters. So then at that point of time in Madras, which is Chennai, there was a course for postgraduate diploma in export management.
Okay.
So I go there
Hmm.
and I finish the course.
Mm-hmm.
I finished the course, exports management, get all this invoice and all these practical training. So I thought I'll specialize in export management.
Okay.
Okay. But then I get an interview call from Kodaikanal Public School. I just sent my application.
Hmm.
I go there.
Hmm.
So Kodaikanal attracted me because of the nature,
Hmm.
everything. And so
Yes.
I get down in Kodaikanal bus stand. I had no place to go. So my mother had given me an address. Go there. The pastor will help you. I go there, change my clothes, get ready for the interview. So I march into the school. It's on a hilltop.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, just wait. And the principal called me.
Okay.
So I thought I'll not get it. I'm just 21 years. I'll not get it. No experience.
Hmm.
No B.Ed at that point of time also.
Oh,
Just-
you haven't done your B.Ed?
I did
Okay.
later. I did after that.
Okay.
I didn't have my B.Ed. So those days it was very compulsory that you have your B.Ed. So I just go into the I go for the interview. He asked me a number of questions. One of the questions he asked me is, whom do you think was the greatest Indian emperor?
Who was the?
Greatest Indian emperor.
Okay.
And so he asked me why. And so he put the question why. So I said, definitely it was Ashoka.
Hmm.
Because he renounced war after Kalinga. And he drew that concept of Dhamma. He introduced that to his principles, to his subjects, and to the entire kingdom.
Okay.
And he renounced violence and he became a sort of a peaceful king. Of course, he was very violent at that point of time. But he brought about a transformative change in the kingdom, in the entire Mauryan kingdom. The Mauryan kingdom was transformed, and even today, India will never forget the Mauryas for its centralized administration, for its implementation of the Buddhist principles.
Hmm.
Okay. And of course, for the Sarnath pillar, which we have taken our national emblem from.
Hmm.
We will never forget that.
Hmm.
So Ashoka attracted me a lot.
Hmm.
And so then he asked me, which are your favorite sports? All these questions. So then he said, okay, please meet my secretary. So I come out, I meet the secretary, whose name is Elizabeth. I still know her. So Elizabeth, he asked me to meet you. When can I? So she said, please sit down. I will give you your appointment letter. So I could not believe it.
Okay.
I was overjoyed. I was overjoyed. Those days there was no mobile. I could not call my mother,
Yes.
my mother also. I was overjoyed. So the evening I had to take the bus from Kodaikanal bus stand to Bangalore.
Hmm.
From Bangalore, I had to move to Bangarapat. Bangarapat is 2 hours from Bangalore.
Okay.
So I had to take a local bus and go.
Hmm.
So immediately I reached Bangarapat, I reached home because my mother was teaching in South India seminary at that time. So I tell her this news. So she said, okay, have you decided to become a teacher? I said, I have no other option.
She is a teacher, correct?
She was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
how was your love towards history? Why did you become a history teacher? Because
the only subject I liked in school was history.
Okay.
Okay, somehow or other it attracted me.
Hmm.
Because, you know,
Was it the teacher? Your
the teacher also, Mr. Jacob Verghese, I think.
Okay.
He was also very good. You know, he used to explain many things to us in a very clear and logical way.
Okay.
So in that classroom, it was very interesting. But nobody took history seriously even at that point of time.
Yeah.
So when I got into my PUC also, after I got in my PUC, then we had to go for graduation. This was in Mahatma College, Hervilla. I go to BA first year because I could not get into St. Stephen's College, Delhi. Even though I got it, there was a problem there. The Kerala University was separated and Mahatma Gandhi University was born.
Okay.
So because of that, they said, we can't give you because it's a new university, all these things. So I got into St. Stephen's, Delhi, which is a prestigious college, but I could not go there. So I continue with my BA in Mahatma College, Tiruvalla. So I go to the small classroom. We're sitting there with girls and boys, and we look out. Zoology girls are shining, botany, physics, chemistry. They have better classrooms. They are doing very well. So this Mr. Verghese Matthew comes in, Professor Verghese Matthew comes into the class. So we complain, sir, the windows are not even opening. The desk and the benches are not in proper shape. The room is very dingy. So he says, those of you who take history will have to make history.
Yeah.
Those of you take history will have to go through all the stress and strain. Then we said, all these boys and girls are there. When we look outside, they are all shining and they are all very happy. So he said, okay, now I want you to go and ask a question. If you think that you guys are useless or hopeless, as others have said, I want you to go and ask this question to them. The question is, do they know the history of their subject? Do they know the history of biology, zoology, botany? Then he comes there, he says, history is the only subject which has the history of all other subjects. That particular statement attracted me a lot. And it left a huge imprint on me. It's a statement. It's a true statement.
Yeah, it's a true statement. Yes.
It's the only subject which has the history of everything. It encompasses the whole world. I mean, how we were born before the pre-recorded history, if you take the Stone Age, the Neolithic Age, the Paleolithic Age, the Mesolithic Age, the Paleolithic Age, how much have we advanced from that state to where we are? As we are speaking here now.
And today we're talking about the modern age where until unless we don't know that, we can't compare.
We can't compare.
Yeah.
We can't compare. I mean, how did the wheel evolve? If we are into an automobile revolution, it was because somebody rolled some object down the hill and man observes this because it's coming rolling down. And then that concept of you can use this as a locomotive, as a mode of transport.
Yes.
That changed the whole transport industry as we have today. So history is something very, very interesting. You have to identify each one. See, let me ask you something. Don't you remember your birthday? Don't you remember the birthday of your son or your daughter? Don't you remember the first prize you got? Whatever we say. So history will never leave you whether you like it or not. It's part of you.
So, but how was it for you? Was it not challenging? Because even now, all the parents, they push their children to the science, maths. That is the first primary subjects where we push in. Even if it's exams, we give more pressure on these subjects rather than history.
And I agree with you.
Okay, that is even now. How was in back those days for you?
It hasn't changed. Back those days, physics, chemistry, biology was the first priority.
Yeah.
Mathematics was the first priority.
Yes.
If your child is good in maths, he's the best. If your child is good in science, he is going to be an engineer or a doctor. These two are the options. I'm talking about only Kerala. These were the two only options. But today things have changed.
Sir, not only Kerala, I guess.
I think it's everywhere. I think
it's everywhere.
Everywhere. So thank you for correcting me. Because, I tell you why. Because IITs was regarded to be the prime. And a medical college was regarded to be the best place where your son could find shelter and could pursue his studies and become a doctor or an engineer. I don't blame the parents for it because that time the economy was like that. Today, we are in such a free market economy.
Yeah.
There is no dearth of opportunities for the child. You take fashion designing, you take cooking if you want, you take sculpture, you take art, you take pottery, you take anything which you want. You take anything in AI.
Yes.
A sound recorder or a sound engineer. A design engineer.
Correct. Now there are a lot of opportunities coming up.
Tell me what is not there. Tell me what is not.
So much. In fact, I am a food process engineer. When I studied, the food process engineering subject was there only in few colleges, 1 or 2 colleges. Now all the colleges have it. So like this, like that, I think we are evolving with the need.
We are evolving with the need and of course with the market.
Yeah.
So the market and the need are, I think, two forces which force people to think and innovate creatively.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Okay, sir. Tell me, how is for you teaching history to this era children? It's an era of digital world, right? And how are children taking up history now?
It's not very easy because, you need to actually identify certain things which they like. For example, when we teach some simple concept like wars or conquest or invasions or whatever it is, or we need to bring in perspective. We need to be very clear about the causation and change and the significance. These are actually IB attributes also, not just which you find elsewhere. Now, we need to ask them, maybe or even before the lesson, before, let's say, a typical lesson, let's say the mind mapping is concerned, or let's say a collaborative effort is concerned, when you put the students into different pools, different groups, and they say, okay, we give them the question, and then they come up and they give the answers on the board. You need to ask them, why do you think so? To what extent do you think was this correct?
Okay.
Compare and contrast. Now, I love those terms. Compare and contrast. To what extent? These questions, when it's put to them, naturally they will think. To give you a simple example, to what extent was Hitler responsible for the Second World War? Today, I bet you, Sukhita, if you ask this question, many would disagree with the fact that Hitler was not the only person responsible for the war. It was the Treaty of Versailles, which was completely imposed on Germany, forcefully by the Big Four. That is why the Second World War broke out, and Hitler, there was a person born as Hitler. I'm not saying he was born at that point of time, but the way Germany was treated was the actual cause of the Second World War. I mean, certain questions like that. Even today, they ask, to what extent did Gandhiji delay independence? To what extent was it correct to deny Subhash Chandra Bose the role of a kingmaker as far as the Indian independence movement was concerned? Subhash Chandra Bose, if he had come to power, probably things would have been different. But that's history.
Yeah.
Okay. And Winston Churchill, what did he do? He diverted the entire food stock during the Calcutta famine to Britain for the war. What did we do? We had to sit and watch how India suffered. And now see how India has transformed itself. We are the fourth largest economy now, if I'm not mistaken. We have a huge workforce. We are creating history in many, many ways. I'm not saying we don't have challenges. Of course, we do have challenges.
How is history? I mean, you have taught in Dubai also for students, right? So how is
the Westminster School, Dubai?
Yeah, in the Westminster School. So how is the history curriculum? I mean, the whole syllabus being taught over there. Is it more towards the world history? And how is it here in India? Is it more region specific?
In Dubai or rest of the world, it's more or less world history. But Sukita, there's something interesting also. I mean, as far as the Indian schools are concerned, or even IB or IGCSE is concerned, there is a strong element of history. You know, in ICSE, you cannot fail in history.
You cannot fail
You
in
cannot
history.
fail in history.
Okay.
You cannot fail in HCG, History, Civics and Geography.
Okay. Why is that so?
Because the independence movement is very clearly and rationally mentioned in the syllabus and in the curriculum.
Okay.
And it's a combination. In grade 10, they have to take world history, which is the second part, the contemporary world. They have to study the First World War and the Second World War and the independence movement. So they have to study the early phase, which is called the early India phase, and then there's the assertive phase, and then the Gandhian era. So they have to study all these phases, plus the world history in the second term. Okay. So they cannot ignore history as such. So it's compulsory. If you look at IB, it gives you a wide variety of options. You know, you can choose from 15 to 16 specific topics. You can choose the Cold War era. You can take authoritarian states, which is Hitler, Mussolini. You can talk about leadership. We can talk about independence movement. Nelson Mandela comes in there. And even Indian independence movement comes in there. You can even talk about the Islamic Caliphate. So there is a wide range of topics you can choose from IB. When it comes to IGCSE, international system, what I'm saying,
the Cambridge
system, you can choose from it's basically between the World War I and World War II. You can choose that.
Okay.
What Britain went through these 2 years, 2 phases, that can be chosen. So when it comes to history, every country would try to promote its own history, which is natural.
Yeah,
I was in
yeah.
I was in Vietnam recently, I mean, maybe 2 months back, and I was looking at their process. They are very clear about how they overcame. Their system is very, very clear. If you walk through the streets of Hanoi, you always see the sign as to how they overcame the American invasion and how they are so proud of their identity and culture. So each country will project and will promote its history in some way or the other. For example, in Pakistan, they would promote the Muslim League. Here, they would not. The work of the Muslim League, during the pre-partition. I'm not saying the present one. So, which is quite natural. There, the focus is on Jinnah, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Whereas our focus is on, not only on you would not hear Bhagat Singh or somebody like that there. But here, we would focus on, let's say, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Hala Lajpat Rai, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru. So these names you will not find there. So each country has its own systems in terms of devising and implementing the history curriculum as such.
But do you think the IB syllabus in India, IB curriculum in India and the history syllabus is different from, IB probably in Dubai or IB probably in some other
No,
country?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's the same.
It's the same because the IB is very clear. You can choose in the 11th grade and the 12th grade. That is IB1 and IB2. You can choose. You can choose, as I told you, authoritarian states. There are 3 papers: paper 1, paper 2, and paper 3.
Okay.
And paper 1 is basically critical thinking. It's source based. You have a source, you have to identify the source. Source analysis is very, very important
Okay.
in IB. ICSE is trying its level best. I mean, I use the source analysis a lot in my classes. But the first paper 1 it focuses on your source analysis.
Okay.
Paper 2 and paper 3 are essay based, where you have to develop your perspective on certain things.
Okay.
And of course, you have to identify, compare and contrast. So all these things would come in there.
Okay. So IB, International Baccalaureate, is been in India for past 10 years?
Yeah. It was started in 1960s, way back in Geneva.
Okay.
But now it has made a huge transformative change, I would say.
Okay. India, probably 10 years back?
Yeah, maybe 10, 15 years
Now
back.
it's becoming more popular among
Yes, I think in Bangalore, there are more than 10 schools which are offering IB.
Yeah, right.
In Bangalore itself.
So how are the teachers being trained for the IB curriculum?
They go through, we go through a definite process of training. We've sent for online sessions. Then, of course, you have Cat 1, Cat 2 workshops. I am actually presently doing IBEC, which is called International Baccalaureate Education Certificate, which is given by the University of Windsor and certified by the IB.
Okay.
That you can teach IB. It's a 1.5 year course. You have 5 courses in that. Course 1, course 2, course 3, course 4, and course 5. Course 1 is teaching and learning. Then you have assessment.
Okay.
The IB system of assessment is different. You have rubrics.
Okay.
And if you get a 7, you're at the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you get a 3, you're okay. But if you get a 7 for each subject, that means if you get a total of 45, you're on top of the world. And in MYP, which is grade 10, if you get 56, you're on top of the world. So that's the highest thing which you are.
Okay.
That's how you do it. In IGCSE, it's different. You get A's and A stars.
Okay.
If you get 7 A stars, you're good.
Okay.
So that's how it works.
So then it's a rigorous training.
It's very rigorous.
You have to undergo.
It's very rigorous. It's research oriented. It's process driven. And one more interesting thing about IB is you have the TOK concept and the CAS, that is Creativity Action Service.
Okay.
Where you have to, it's similar to SUPW, Social Useful Productive Work.
Okay.
Which we have in our schools. You have to go out to the community, mingle with them, interact with them, or do something which is going to usefully impact their lives. I had kids go out and, they paint the walls of the streets or the buildings. They go into government schools and teach children for a specific period of time.
Okay.
Or they adopt a particular street and grow plants. Or they clean up, my kids went to a park near the place where I stay and with the plastic bags and with the broom, which is quite new actually for them. Because some of them never saw a broom. Some of them never saw a broom, but when they catch the broom itself, it's a good thing. So they pick up the litter in the park and they give it to that person there who is in charge of that. So these are good things which
that is what we call activity-based learning. More of it. Right. Sir, you said that when you entered your first day of the classroom was a great day for you. So how was then and how is it now when you enter the classrooms?
Today, when I enter a class, I know the questions which are going to emerge from the kids.
That's because of the experience you have.
Yes. The kids are wonderful. I mean, in no way are they indifferent, I would say. I'm not saying that they are bad. The kids today, people perceive that the younger generation is bad. I would say no. The younger generation is more inquisitive. The younger generation is more eager to learn in the way they want to learn.
Okay.
That's the only difference I feel. But we have to make sure that we win over them. We cannot lose them. We cannot lose them because it will have a major impact.
Yeah. So do you also think that is also because of the AI tools which is present right now and the knowledge is available to them?
Definitely.
And how is your challenge there?
You take a laptop. Put on the chat GPT. Put on any other tools.
Yes, you get the answers
You get the answers straight away.
So how is it challenging for the teachers now?
Definitely, it is a challenge because you give an assignment, you give them anything, it's already available there.
Yes.
Yeah, how would you evaluate that? Even if you put it, turn it in tool or whatever it is, it will show you a certain percentage. Any research project has to be put into a software, whichever software it is. But even there, if you have these, now there is something called make it human. You write something and say you make it human, and then they humanize it, which sometimes escapes the plagiarism check, which is actually very, very critical because it's not the child's work or it's not the. Today, there are many ways by which you can manipulate. I always say this, only God knows whether this is the true or not. So this is a major challenge which we'll have to, but there is good news also. There are tools which are coming in which will exactly show where you have plagiarized and what you have plagiarized.
Okay.
So there are tools coming in the AI sector also.
Okay. Nice. So you have been teacher for over 3 decades now, right?
32 years.
32 years. Okay. Another 2 years.
I become old. Yeah.
So what do you think? What are the changes the Indian schools have to bring for the next decade?
I feel Indian schools should reduce the content, make it more skill-based. If a child is good in sports, let's say today we are only 133 in FIFA rankings in football. In hockey, I think we are world number 7 or 6, if I'm not mistaken. Athletics, where are we? Only Neeraj Chopra is there. We have Anush Kunjur, who has qualified for the World Athletic Championships going to be held in Tokyo. I think we hardly have 6 or 7 athletes.
Yeah. Now, probably slowly people are working towards it. Yeah.
Because after we had a PV Sindhu and after we had Neeraj Chopra.
Yeah. Especially PV Sindhu.
Yeah, especially PV Sindhu. And Harry Com, all these youngsters who came in and who changed the sporting scenario.
Yes.
They're going to think, because we have to think beyond cricket. According to me, let me not get into sports. According to me, a skill set program has to be there in every school. And a community outreach program where students go and teach less privileged children.
Do you think the fee structure is high in India? Because in other countries, there are few schools who give free education to the students as well. So why is we can't, do that free education to underprivileged students?
It's not so simple as we think so, because private education, especially in our urban centers and even the rural areas, is doing well. In spite of the profits or whatever it is, in spite of some areas where the teachers are underpaid. That is the fact of the matter. But more privatization in education, according to me, is good. Even privatizing universities also is good. For example, most of the universities which have come up are pretty good in the private sector. If you take Symbiosis, if you take Jain University, if you take Christ University, Flame, Ashoka, all these universities are making a very good impact. So privatization of education is very good, but of course, in the government sector, in the government schools, and the aided schools, the government schools, things need to be better. I think Delhi and Kerala have done, and Punjab are doing reasonably well, or I would say pretty well.
Okay.
In the government schools, because the kids coming out from there are doing very well in life also.
Okay.
Tamil Nadu has a very good scheme. The midday
for the teachers.
For the teachers, and the midday scheme, midday meal scheme, midday breakfast scheme also, where they provide eggs. That is probably one of the largest in the world. So there are changes.
That actually pushes the parents also for children to go to the school.
And I think Tamil Nadu government gives a cycle at the end of the 10th year. If they pass, they can keep the cycle with them. So they from this is for the village bound schools. They take the cycle, go to the school, finish their schooling, and come back home. So it is a prized possession. And in that journey, the child is becoming more resilient.
Yes.
The child is becoming more collaborative. He meets his fellow people, his fellow countrymen.
Yeah, and he feels more independent of himself.
He feels more independent. You know, Sugita, I was very happy when I saw the picture of a child. He had the Indian flag on front of the cycle. He is a patriot. He is a patriot. So these are things which are becoming slow changes in India, which is actually good. Yeah.
Good changes happening.
Good changes. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you did your PhD thesis on Gandhiji and Mandela, right?
Yeah.
Why did you do thesis on these two people?
When I left school,
Hmm.
my ICSE marks were not very good. It's okay. So when I entered the PUC, the pre-university course, I took the third group, we called the arts group, which is the least expected and the least in demand. It was history, political science, economics,
Yeah.
okay, and English. So I stood first in the college, and then the principal called me, and then he gave me a book, and the book was My Experiments with Truth.
Okay.
Okay, so I read that. I was able to read and get it. But in 2013, Nelson Mandela passed away.
Yeah.
At, I think, 2013 itself, I went to a bookstore,
Hmm.
I and my wife, and we were having a small chat. And so she said, go and read this. So that was Long Walk to Freedom.
Hmm.
Now, I took my memory back. After I read Long Walk to Freedom, I took my memory back. My mind traveled back.
Hmm.
I don't know why and how. It was Gandhiji. And Mandela mentions about Gandhiji.
Hmm.
He admired Gandhi, but he did not agree with Gandhi on many things.
Yeah.
And Mandela also liked Jawaharlal Nehru very much. So I said, here there are two people. It's okay. So these two people stayed in my mind.
Okay.
Then wherever I applied for my PhD, I could not get it because, crossed the age. But then when I applied in Jain University, I got it. I went through the interview and everything, that process. And when on the last day, when I had to face the last interview, I went there and I said, I want to research on Gandhi. I only said Gandhi. So they said, no, many people have done it. So the person sitting by, he asked me, what is his source? He asked that others in the panel. And there were a distinguished panel of professors from Bangalore.
Okay.
Professor Chudamani, who's actually a well-renowned in the field of cultural studies,
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Soumya. Then, so he asked, what does he want? So they said his topic is on Gandhi. Then I said, Gandhi and Mandela.
Mm.
So he, without looking, he signed.
Mm.
So when I looked back, it is Dr. Sandeep Shastri. So Dr. Sandeep Shastri agreed to be my guide. So then I am called to Jain University. 175, I think almost 175 research scholars have qualified and they are sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I sat in the front, and then the way Sandeep Shastri sir took the lesson, I was quite impressed. I said, now there is no way going around.
Yeah.
I have to complete my PhD.
Okay.
And so from there, I didn't look back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all the teachers and professors have played a very important role then in that, in your case, right?
Yes.
So what would be for the students right now, you would tell that one person, I mean, from both the personalities, from Gandhiji and Nelson Mandela, what is that we can take it from them?
Gandhiji was a very patient man.
Hmm.
People might say many things about him.
Hmm.
I mean, they have the right to their opinion. But Gandhiji never withdrew from the statements which he gave, never got away from what he stood for. He stood for certain things. See, Sugita, we have to remember the three movements which came in. That is the non-cooperation, the civil disobedience, and the Quit India movement. They were all led by him. Let's say from the 1920s to the 1940s.
Yeah.
He was the revolving figure. The world took note. It was not just India. 24 years in South Africa, yes, he did. He was able to give voice to the underprivileged. He was able to give voice to those people who were not represented at all. Of course, there were 2 or 3 controversies, that is there. But Gandhiji was very patient and he never compromised on what he stood for. The principles which he stood for. That is what I firmly believe.
Okay.
He stood for non-violence. He stood for ahimsa. He stood for the villages becoming independent.
Yeah.
He stood for our independence. And he got it. He got it after a long time. Mandela, on the other hand, he didn't have to go through what Gandhiji did. He had to fight within his nation.
Yeah.
He stood against the policy of apartheid. He went to jail, 27 years in jail, which he persisted. But finally, he didn't give in. Did he give in? No. he comes back, and the
Yeah,
day
he didn't give up.
he
Yeah.
didn't give up, and then he becomes the president of South Africa democratically. He is able to actually sort out the differences between the different tribes or the clans there. There were problems there at that time also. I'm talking about 1993 and 94.
Yeah.
And then he becomes the president. He wins the Nobel Peace Prize. By the way, he's only one among the 3 foreigners in India who's won the Bharat Ratna. Mandela, Mother Teresa, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. Okay, 4th. And then he becomes the president of South Africa. Now, my question is, did he insist that he wants to become the president all the time? No. After his term, he said, now I'm leaving office. He was very, very principled that way. He gave his nation a new beginning. He gave South Africa a new South Africa.
Yeah.
The flag was
He
changed.
just wanted to bring a change.
He wanted to bring about a change.
Yeah.
He never believed in the white supremacy. And when he stood for the trial, the great trial in 62, he said, if I were to die for this principle, I am willing to die. For the principle of racial equality.
Okay.
And that 4 hours he stood there, 4 hours. And that speech, I think I have read it 100 times. It is so inspiring. It is so inspiring. I am willing to die. If that be, I am willing to die. His words were very, very powerful. See, he said, education is a tool which we can use to change the world. And he was right.
Yeah.
And he's right. Because education is something which we can use to change the world. Because once you're educated and principled in life, that we have a progressive society which we can build. So Mandela and Gandhi, I think, are the greatest influences.
Sir, you're also a quiz master.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what was the purpose behind, conducting quiz programs?
When I was in grade 6, the teacher asked, this was in St. Thomas Trent, the teacher asked, who will go for the quiz? So everybody said Jayan, because actually I was not very good, but they said, since I used to read the newspaper, I knew some of the answers.
Okay.
So then I go up and I do very badly there. The next year, the quiz competition comes. Then people say, no, don't send Jayan because he didn't win it this time. So I said, it's fine. When I reach my pre-degree, I get a lot of calls. Inter-school quiz. Okay. So I'm so interested. So, I used to go and ask my mother, pocket money, give me the money for the bus fare. So KSRTC bus,
that you can participate.
I can participate. And I love that KSRTC bus even today. Getting into that, even with that sound and with that potholes or whatever it is, the conductor rings the bell and you sit there, you go to that college. And slowly, I started winning prizes, and I used to bring back home these small trophies.
Okay.
So my mother then she used to give me additionally 10 or 20 rupees, which I used to keep. So like that, I became so interested in quiz. When I was in Westminster, Dubai, I organized this Etihad Inquisitive. To my surprise, Etihad Airways, they agreed to be my sponsor.
Okay. Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And, I had a very good team at that time.
Okay.
I remember those names. My wife, Rachel, Renuga, Hustrat, Shibu, they all helped me a lot.
Okay.
They helped me to put up the stage. Etihad. So for 3 years, I was able to do that. So Etihad Airways was able to. Yeah. And finally, Sugita, in 2004, I think it was the 7th of October 2004, I was invited by the Gulf Asian School in Sharjah to do a quiz.
Okay.
Now, believe me, tell me how many years I've been doing it. Every year from 2004 to 2025, I'm going in October. I've been doing that quiz for that school, Gulf Asian English School.
So you go there?
I go every year. Every year I go.
Okay. You're also an author, right? So can you just tell us what are the books being published and what is your forthcoming book?
See, my first book was actually my PhD thesis, which my guide, Dr. Shastri, agreed. So that became the book, and I termed it as The Indomitable Gandhi, The Indefectible Mandela. Because Gandhiji was indomitable. Mandela was indefectible.
Okay.
Because both were persistent in what they believed in.
Okay.
So people have asked me, why indomitable, why indefectible? I said, those people were indomitable. They were indomitable. So Indomitable Gandhi, The Indefectible Mandela. That was my PhD research work, which became a book. Okay. Second book was actually, I started on it together when my mother was cancerous, in 2021.
Okay.
So I started on that, but I never finished it. So I could finish it only in 2025. It is called Quintessentially Quizzical. It's a set of quiz questions, which I haven't put anywhere else, but I have sort of tried my level best to put it in a different way. The third book, which hasn't come out, I'm just writing on it. It's called The Cute. Please don't. Please don't.
No. Nobody is judging. I know the love for dogs.
Yeah, it's called The Cute, the Naughty, the Cute, the Naughty, the Fluffy, and the Most Beloved. Okay. Because all these stand for dogs, which I have in my family, which I have. I have 3 dogs right now, but I had 4 or 5. 2 of them passed away. So it's a tribute to those dogs and a tribute to the dogs who are living now. So it's only about dogs. It's a real story. It's a real story. Yeah.
So lovely. We'll be reading the book once.
Definitely.
It comes
I'll send you a copy. I'll send you a copy.
Okay, so before we move to rapid fire round, I have one more question on the classrooms, right? So the classrooms before 30 years and classrooms right now after so many years, how is it? What's the difference?
You're asking me tough questions, and your questions get tougher all the time. Sugita, I think it was Winston Churchill who told, or I don't know who remembered this. Classrooms are rooms where the future presidents and prime ministers are born. Yeah. So look at those leaders who we had and who impacted others. Abdul Kalam was a wonderful, impactful teacher who started from a newspaper boy. Yeah. Occupies the highest position, highest constitutional office of the country, and led a very simple life. I think he has impressed me a lot. So these are rooms where these people were born or they became leaders at that very age. So classrooms, as you say, has gone a lot of change. Today, classroom will have a projector. It will not have a chalk and a board, which we had. Okay, it'll have a projector, yes. It'll have a smart room. It'll have a smart board, all these things. Digital technology has come in a big way, which is actually good. I'm not saying it's bad. Smart classrooms are a pretty good thing.
But ultimate goal is the same as well.
Ultimate goal is the same. If we are not able to produce presidents and prime ministers or chief ministers or ministers who make an impact to the society, what is the use? Yeah. If we are not able to produce entrepreneurs like J.R.D. Tata or Ratan Tata, what is the use? See how much impact they made. Yeah. J.R.D. Tata and Ratan Tata, see the impact which they have made to the rest of the society.
Definitely.
So if we are not able to build in or produce entrepreneurs like that or leaders like that who make a local change and have a global effect, then our battle will be won.
Lovely. Lovely said, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, let's come to the rapid fire round, sir. I'll be asking you a few questions. If you could change one thing about India's teaching methods today, what would it be?
Make it skill-based.
If you could take your students on a dream history field trip anywhere in the world, where it would be?
I would take them to the place where, during the First World War, the Archduke Francis Ferdinand, he was traveling. When he was traveling, there was a person called Gabrielio Princip. There were 3 or 4 people who tried to shoot him, but none of them succeeded. But finally, Gabrielio Princip shoots Archduke Francis Ferdinand. He shoots his wife also, Sophia. So what Archduke does is he tries to protect Sophia because Sophia is pregnant.
Okay.
That started the First World War.
Okay.
So I would like to take them to that same street in Serbia today.
Which historical figure would you like most to invite in your classroom?
Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi.
Of course. If you could time travel, which era would you first visit?
Maybe 1947, when we got independence.
Independence? Okay. Gandhi or Mandela, who would win a quiz contest?
Mandela.
The most underrated moment in world history?
The fall of the Berlin Wall.
Which war or movement do you think students should study more deeply?
Definitely Indian independence movement.
Expected. Ancient civilization or modern revolution? More exciting to teach?
Ancient civilization.
If you could rewrite one chapter of history, which one?
I wish I could rewrite the Indian independence movement. I wish we had got independence probably in 1937 and not in 47.
Why 37?
Because we would have got 10 more years.
Just as a reason?
Just as a reason.
One Indian freedom fighter you think deserves more recognition?
Subhash Chandra Bose.
Okay. Who would win a quiz contest, Chanakya or Einstein?
Chanakya, definitely.
Indian history in one word.
Amazing.
Lovely. You answered really lovely, sir. Thank you so much. It was lovely having you here, and there were so many different aspects to learn today. And one thing which reminds me is when I was in my school, my history teacher was a Malayali. Her name was Reena Chako. Okay, so I don't know, somehow I'm getting that, old time feel after talking to you. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you so much, Sugita. It was great because, I love people who talk to teachers because, teachers always like to talk to students and be there.
Oh.
But if I have made a change, and of course, I'm all the more happy. And thank you for asking these questions, which were quite challenging and, of course, interesting to answer. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. In fact, the classroom question, more than classrooms, it's also the teachers who play a major role in making someone, out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
thank you. Thank you to you.
No, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine.